Okay, so today we're diving into something that I think is really intriguing. Um, it involves Donald Trump
Oh, yeah.
and a weekend trip he took to his Doral Golf Resort in Miami.
Interesting.
And this was right after he had just gotten back from a work week in D.C.
Okay.
And it just brings up some, I don't know, like points about things that were said and,
Yeah.
things that were reported to have happened afterward.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. So the main thing here is this,
Difference between.
like reported
Mhm.
discrepancy between what he said to the press
Okay.
when he was on his way to Doral
Okay.
versus what actually happened.
Yeah.
So while he was on Air Force One on the way to Doral,
Okay.
he was asked by reporters if he planned to play golf.
Mm-hmm.
And he reportedly said,
Right.
no, I don't think so. I'm busy.
He said that.
Just too busy to play golf.
Yeah.
And, whatever you can think whatever you want about that statement.
Right.
But what's fascinating here is that the source we're looking at today points out that despite that statement, he was reportedly seen golfing on Sunday.
Oh, wow.
So the very next day.
So he was too busy on Saturday, but not Sunday.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
And it also mentions that he was reportedly golfing earlier that week as well, like on Monday.
Really?
Yeah. So, just within a few days, we have this kind of contrasting picture.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
And this source also highlights that this isn't exactly a, one-off kind of thing.
Right.
It actually brings up this information from the Huffington Post
Okay.
that says, during his first term in office, he golfed at least 289 times.
289.
At least, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of rounds of golf.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of golf.
That's a lot of time on the links.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the financial side of this is something that, I think is worth considering.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Because according to this source, those golfing trips during his first administration reportedly cost taxpayers.
Oh, yeah. This is always the thing that people bring up, right? The
Yeah.
cost to the taxpayer.
Right. And it says at least $150 million.
$150 million.
At least. Yeah.
Wow.
So, that's no small amount of money.
No, that's a lot.
And to put that in perspective, the source mentions this, kind of funny example of a Doge office run by Elon Musk.
Okay.
And they're not actually endorsing that idea. It's just a satirical way of thinking about, where we can maybe save some money.
Gotcha.
And the point they're trying to make is that while these, kind of silly suggestions for minor cuts might get a lot of attention,
Right.
these much larger reported expenses, like these golf outings, are also worth thinking about.
Absolutely.
It's like,
Yeah.
where are our priorities?
Totally. Where's the money going?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that, any one thing is right or wrong. It's just something to consider.
Yeah, just something to be aware of.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing that the source really emphasizes is that there wasn't really a lot of pushback from the media
Oh, really?
about this initial statement that he was too busy to golf.
Interesting.
It's like nobody really seemed to, question it or follow up on it.
Wow.
Yeah, it just makes you think about, how public figures in the press kind of interact with each other.
For sure, for sure.
And, the source does present this one argument that some people might actually prefer him to be out golfing.
What?
Yeah,
That's wild.
because the reasoning is if he's on the golf course,
Okay.
he's not doing other things that they might view as less desirable,
Oh, I see.
like signing executive orders or something.
Oh, so they're like keeping busy.
Yeah, right. Keep him out of the office.
Okay.
But, it's a cynical viewpoint, but it's definitely out there.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure.
And it makes you think about, what different people might see as the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, totally different perspectives.
But ultimately, the main point the source wants to focus on isn't really the golfing itself.
Okay.
It's the honesty or lack thereof
Gotcha.
in that initial statement.
Right.
Saying that he's too busy to golf when he apparently ends up golfing anyway.
Okay.
And the source is saying that being untruthful about something, even if it seems small, is still concerning.
Right, because it's like, if you're willing to lie about something small,
Exactly.
what else are you going to lie about?
Right. And it's not even about golf, really. It's just about, truthfulness
Yeah.
and how that reflects on your integrity.
It's about the principle of the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, this willingness to potentially misrepresent a minor fact, like a weekend golf plan, is presented as a potential indicator of, a willingness to be untruthful about bigger things, too.
I see.
And the golf trip is just an example.
Gotcha.
So we have this clear sequence The statement that he's too busy followed almost immediately by reports of him golfing.
Right. So just to recap what the source is laying out, she says on Saturday that he's too busy to golf, and then Sunday and Monday golfing. So that sequence of events really kind of underpins this whole question.
Right, because it's not about the golf score or the handicap.
Right.
It's about the significance of a public figure being untruthful about something that on the surface seems pretty trivial.
Okay, I gotcha.
And the source is saying, think about the implications of truthfulness in all public statements.
Right, regardless of the topic.
Yeah, exactly. And it's making me think, like, does the size of the topic change the size of the lie?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Right. And what does it say about someone if they're willing to be dishonest about something small?
Yeah.
Does that mean that they're willing to be dishonest about bigger things too?
That's a great point.
It's just food for thought.
Absolutely.
So as you're listening to this, think about it. Regardless of your political views, it's just about the role of honesty in public life.
I agree.
And what even small discrepancies might suggest about the bigger picture.
Really makes you think.
So, yeah, thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
See you next time.
Yeah, see ya.